Now I like this. This is nice. It's dark, but it's nice, don't you think? Okay, here's what's up. There we go. Is that better? So I'm gonna be talking to you initially about this light kit. Viltrox VL-200t. It's a kit that has 3 LED panels, this particular one that I have, but they do sell them individually and in sets of 2, so keep that in mind. And they come with this very useful remote. There's only one light here, right? And it's at 20% of its power, and the color temperature is 5300 Kelvin. So it's not an RGB light, but you can adjust the color temperature and the brightness. And you can use groups, and you can use also channels, and you can control each one or in groups or different channels and so on and so forth. I highly recommend it. It's really, this is very useful, very inexpensive. I'll leave the links in the blah. They're basically rectangular LED panels, 26 centimeters wide by 20 tall. It's less than 3 centimeters deep. It's 2 point something. The kit has stands for each light, for each panel, and this is one of the reasons why I really like them, because they work off of batteries, the Sony batteries. Each panel takes 2 of them. You can take them on location, you know, like you don't need a plug. Even though they come with, for each panel, you get the wall adapter. I'm using the wall adapter now. And this is only one light. Even though it's only 20% of its power, I had to put something, it's like a piece of translucent, a diffuser type, just to make it even dimmer a bit, because the lens that I'm using now, it's a 23mm 1.4, and I wanted to shoot at 1.4, and it would be too bright for the settings regardless. So the white balance I also set in camera for the same value, 5300. Kevin! That. And the blue light that you see, it's one of these little LED panels, this exact one. Basically I have 2 of them. These are very nice as well. They're very bright, and there's a built-in battery, and these are RGBs, and you can do all kind of accent lights. You can do, they're amazing. Yeah, these are, you know, this kit with these lights, yeah, it's a perfect combination. And I'm gonna tell you in a second why I talk about all these lights. It's gonna make sense in a second, okay? Before I move on to the why, I have another very small LED panel. It's about this size, but it's about 15-year-old, and that's this one. I can only control the brightness, and I just keep it here on my desk as a small fill light. I'm jumping back to the big lights here, VL-200Ts. Again, these are just light panels that don't have any kind of light modifiers, right? You can't really control where the light, it's just you aim it and that's where the light goes, right? But what I've done is, I'm gonna put a photo somewhere on the screen. I literally took a cardboard box. I put it on the light, on the stand, and on the stand. Basically, these are my barn doors, right? You see how on the back wall, controlling the speed of light. This was one of my wishes, to be able to have control over where the light goes. And ultimately, I think I'm gonna be able to 3D print some way to mount a barn door system on these panels, right? And perhaps a grid would be amazing, so I can have even more control of where the light goes. With the setup of 3 of these lights, and with the light modifiers that I'm willing to 3D print, along with these little accent light with these RGBs, they will complement the plan, basically. Well, it's not a big secret or a big plan, but this is what I thought of, and there's a reason for why I got to this idea, if you want, right? I think this light kit is perfect for an interview type of setup. Let me explain better what I'm talking to you about here. The idea is that we're not getting any younger, none of us. Or if I'm missing out on something, please let me know. Time travel, that's another video, because I have some interesting points, I've been told. How often do you read an autobiography or read a journal where people were putting down their own thoughts or experiences or what they were going through, or struggles, or how often did you read somebody's like old love letters, or not in a way of, oh, you know, being nosy, but looking almost into historical facts. What did this person go through to be what he was, right? But I like to believe that each person should be able to tell their own story. And the reason for that is because nobody else knows the story better. Each person has a unique way of looking at things. And if I somehow can capture the story that presents this uniqueness, then there's something to be learned from. And each human being, it doesn't matter, it does not matter if it's a woman or a man or black or white or this or that, or it doesn't matter. Everyone have something worthwhile listening. Because look, you go, and I think the most obnoxious people are the teenagers. Sorry, teenagers, but you as a group, nothing personal, because they know it all. I knew it all when I was a teenager myself, so it's not like I haven't been obnoxious or in your shoes. But if you get a teenager to sit down and shake him to put your phone off, right? Put your phone away for 10 minutes. I want to listen to you. I want to listen to your story. Tell me who you are. Tell me what you want to be. Tell me what you want to do. Tell me your aspirations. Tell me what you think. And I'm sure I can find the nugget, right? I don't have a set of questions that I have prepared for this type of thing. Now, I'm saying all this because first of all, I want to do this with my grandma, right? Then I also want to record my dad and my mom, and my grandma has an older sister. She's like about 10 years older, and I want that she's have some even crazier stories. But my grandma we got along very well, right? My grandma, she's my mom's mom, so there we go. You know, she's getting older. She's afraid of dying, right? You know, she's well now, but she's been through very tough challenges, health-wise especially. She's been through a whole lot, and all that whole lot, I think, would make for a great story, right? I mean, I already told her what I want to do, and she said, we'll see how it goes. Yeah, she's a very interesting person. Now, think about it this way. She was born before World War II, and she was just a kid when the war was over. And get this, the house she grew up in, it was on the military base. So I think, you know, she has some amazing stories. Now, my family is Hungarian, and I was born in Romania, so that makes me Romanian, and I am a Hungarian descendant, but that's that in that regard. I have no political or geopolitical beef of any kind, so that's out of the way. But now, granted, if I get someone's story or someone's opinion that is not 100% politically correct, or it doesn't kind of match today's standards of, oh, you know, how can you say this or that, it's not me, or I don't subscribe necessarily to these opinions, but I will try and put it out, as I'm not going to try and scratch my head this way, right? I just want to clear it out from now. I don't want to come off as so I don't want to basically be associated with someone else's story, right? Just as I don't want other people's stories to be twisted by somebody else. That's the reason why I want people to be able to tell their own stories. And like I said before, I think Grandma will be a perfect example of this. Don't get me wrong, I really appreciate really smart and successful people and share their knowledge of how they made something, or how they became successful, or how they failed, so people can avoid doing the same mistakes. And so I definitely am interested in this type of people, but where's everybody else? Not everyone is Mark Zuckerberg or Nietzsche, or what happened to the normal life? What happened? Why is everyone, I want to be Britney Spears or I want to be Tesla? There's nothing wrong with wanting to succeed, right? And working for it and working towards it. But what happened to mediocrity? Why is a simple, normal life not enough? Why do we think that happiness is in here, huh? All day. There's nothing wrong with this. It's a great tool. Don't get me wrong. I'm on it all day long as well. I would be a hypocrite if I would say something otherwise. But what happened? I don't know why people think stress is such a negative thing. I mean, clearly, yes, it causes a lot of negative things. I'm not saying, but stress ultimately can be interpreted as what? Excitement. Twist it. Okay? What happens when you're stressed? Huh? Well, what happens when you go in front of a crowd? You're in an interview, right? Your heart starts beating faster, your palms are sweaty, right? And then panic attack, right? Or I'm behind the curtain and, right before I step on the stage, my heart starts beating faster and my palms are getting a bit sweaty and, I have this rush of, heat coming over me. I know I'm ready. I know I'm gonna be performing amazingly. That's my sign. That's my. So you see, the same thing from different perspective, from a different perspective. But you see how I deviate from one thing to another, and now I'm going to probably talk to you about some supplements. I'm gonna stop that here and tell me what you think. Tell me what you think about this idea of extracting or documenting or logging or interviewing or capturing the story of regular people. And if you want to be one of those people who wants to share their story and kind of remain, how would you like to be known 100 years after you're not with us anymore? It doesn't make any sense. So that's what I want. I want people 100 years from now who are watching these videos to be like, oh, this guy, he's like, he was a regular person, he was from that area, from that time period, and he's been through this, and he had, he was born there, and there was this war or this revolution, or he traveled across the world, or he went there, or he got married, he had this many kids, and his son went to, he became this, or he's like his daughter, he lost a kid, or so. I want all these. I want these. So tell me what you think. Thank you for watching. Thank you for spending your precious time listening to me and my lights and my ideas, and I really appreciate it. I know that if you're gonna be, I'm gonna say it, but if you will do all the, thingies, you'll see me again.